Hey everybody, it's me, Remy, the comic book poser, and I'm here today to welcome you to End of the Poserverse. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's time to talk about what I think I'm reading on Wednesday, and if I'm going to continue to go down the comic book debt spiral, or if I have two relatively light weeks in a row. So to see what exactly I'm going to read, you should check it out after this.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
First things first, since we didn't have shop talk because I was not feeling well on Thursday evening, did not get to push the button to draw for a winner for last week's poser pile. So now you're just going to see a random edit of my screen picking a winner without me talking, because I'm just going to do it and screen grab. So, good luck. Congratulations, whoever you are that won. Hopefully I have your address, or you know how to get in contact with me, or you're hanging out in the chat over here, so I can send you some free books. Don't forget to comment on today's video. That gets you your entry in this week's poser pile, and I'll do either another Instagram reel, or I'll find a short, or just take a picture of the books that I'm able to pick up. But as we work our way through the short pull list, I'll try my best to highlight the books that I'm going to try and grab. So, without further ado, here we go. Alright, so this is again another relatively light week for me that I think, as I was making sure this was set up, my projected spend is like $74, which is even less than last week. So I don't know what's going on. So first up from Valiant is Armorclads #1. This is a bunch of genetically engineered soldiers who are used to kind of clear out planets. So this says that they live out their short lives doing this menial labor, so I'm excited to see what kind of conflict they get put into. Next is Ben Reilly Spider-Man #3. To be honest, I don't remember what happened in issue #2, but apparently we got Doc Ock alive in this one, and kicking in the same way that we did in the Beyond arc, so I definitely have to reread issue #2. Bolero #3, I still have to read #2. It's still sitting in the same spot it has been since last week, but I know that issue #1 hooked me on the premise that Devin is able to kind of have redos in her life by using the keys. So we'll see what happens in this one. We got Captain America Iron Man #5, where we get that final showdown between them and Veronica Eden, that they are going to maybe fight alongside the teams that have been helping them kind of track down the villain of the 50 State Initiative. But this has kind of been a fun journey to go on of watching these two fight together. Next is Count Crowley Amateur Midnight Monster Hunter #1 from Dark Horse. This is written by David Desmalchin, who had a previous 4 or 5 issue arc of this series that it's basically a young woman who is just a hot mess, ends up taking over the weekly late night monster show on her cable TV network, and she has to actually hunt monsters. So we continue her on this journey. I thought the first arc was actually pretty cool. I feel like it's been not just 5 or 6 months, I think it's been about a year since the first arc ended, so I can't wait to see what happens in this one. Next up from Image, we've got Department of Truth #17, and it looks like we are getting a moon landing in this one, that it says behind one of the biggest conspiracy theories of all time. It's gotta be the moon landing. Yes, let's go. I really liked the Acid book, which was issue #16, so I want to see what happens, and I want to see what Jorge Fornes does in terms of playing with some of the art in this book to make it, even creepier and a deeper dive into every unspeakable conspiracy theory you can think of. Next up, we've got our Devil's Reign tie-ins of the week, Villains for Hire number 3, so we're getting to watch people apparently beat the shit out of U.S. Agent, which is always a good time, and we get to see if Emma Frost is successful in besting Mayor Fisk in her long game across the 3 issues of the X-Men series. Both of these has been pretty decent. I don't necessarily know if you would have had to have read either of them to make the Devil's Reign event even more impressive. That I think it's been solid across every single issue, that I've enjoyed it more than some of the recent across series events, so I'm excited about that. Next up, we've got The Fourth Man number 3 and Hotel number 4, our AWA Upshot offerings of the week. I'm a big fan of both of these series that we're up to our 3rd death in The Fourth Man. So we'll see, in addition to kind of sussing out what went down in the murder, then we'll start to see if maybe we find a connecting thread between these 3 murders in issue number 3 or not. Hotel number 4 has just simply been amazing. The second arc has been as good as the first one. That I was slow to get the first one read only because I missed the first issue and had to hunt some of them down. But this has done a great job continuing to build out the Hotel of the Day. From Image, we got Philadelphia number 20. We hopefully get to learn more about George Washington in this one. That issue number 19 really did a great job of kind of piquing my interest of all the things that we'll begin to see. And we see like a larger, that looks like a werewolf on the cover. So let's go. Let's find out more of the dark history of our occult founding fathers. Next up, we've got Ms. Marvel Beyond the Limit number 4. I've enjoyed what this has been doing in terms of playing with Kamala Khan's character. I know there have been some people who have not enjoyed this series all that much, but I think the difference between them and me is a lot of the people who don't like this as much seem to be big fans of Ms. Marvel, and she's somebody who's relatively new to me. So it's interesting. We can look at how how people got some superpowers out of nowhere. I'm excited. Saga 57, going in somebody's poser pile this week. Right, this is the 3rd issue back. The first 2 have been amazing. I haven't heard back from my submission of my fan survey from issue number 56, so I'm going to guess it's going to take a while. But I like how small the solicit is on this, that long-term relationships are easy, lying, and we get the Will and Lion Cat on the cover. Savage Spider-Man number 2, I enjoyed the first issue where we literally have Spider-Man as a man and spider hybrid, working, I can't remember working alongside Baron Zemo at the end of issue number 1, so I want to see how this story advances, if I'm intrigued by this as much as I am the other one. Next book is Tales Told in Techno-Horror Season 2, issue number 1. This is the book from Black Caravan that Dank Comics and I had an exclusive for volume number 1, where Nate Johnson did the art. I really loved all of the different film styles in the individual tales in that book, so I want to see if that's carried on in terms of this second book. I don't think I got issue 2 of Until My Knuckles, so we'll see if that really shows up or not. And then bringing us home is Venom and Wolverine. So we are getting the return of Venom Lethal Protector in terms of that old school reset of Venom and Eddie Brock's life. That I'm picking up the A cover and hopefully the Sienkiewicz variant, and I'm probably going to pick up a couple of more, but that's definitely going to be in the poser pile this week. As well as patch number 1 is that Larry Hama, who established Wolverine as Patch in the late 80s, is now getting to set up things that happen. I believe this is like a prequel to his Wolverine mini. So I'm excited for that book. And then we get the final issue of the Lives and Deaths event that I've really enjoyed this start to finish. We are now going to get to see Wolverine versus Wolverine, figuring out kind of all the truth in the noise about what Omega Wolverine has been attempting to kind of fight back against. So what do you think? Is there anything that I'm missing out on that I should pick up? If so, let me know in the live chat if you're here, or toss it in them comments down below. Also, don't forget to comment on this video to get your Poser Pile entry that we will give away about an hour into Shop Talk on this Thursday night here in the Poserverse with me, J1 Jelly, and Cole if Marshall's not being too fussy or Michigan State's not playing. I don't know, they gotta beat Duke today first. So we'll see. So as always, y'all, thanks for stopping by, and have a good one.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.